guys? This is Dre the Gamer right here. Welcome back to another stream. Today everyone, we are once again playing some Train Simulator, and we are... Oh. Alright, we're back. Had a bit of an echo happen. Oh, okay, there we go. Hey, what is up, you got? Alright. Hey, what is up, you guys? This is Dre the Gamer right here. Welcome back to another stream. Today everyone, we are playing some more Train Simulator Classic. Today we have a Amtrak train. We are in Montana at Shelby Station. We are going to be doing a short, well, medium-length drive to Browning Station, which is about an hour and 15 minutes away. And I believe we'll be stopping in at Cutbank Station on the way. So in the meantime, let's let the passengers board. Let's let them board. So we have an EMD Amtrak F40 here, hauling some just, what are these called? Fleetliner cars, maybe? Yeah, Amtrak hasn't really changed their cars since the 80s. These are basically the same cars that they used back in the 80s. They just repainted them. The F40s were retired around 2000, and these ran from like the mid-70s until 2000s. And this is the paint livery they wore, and this is the paint livery that the new Amtrak cars would wear. And this is Phase 4, I believe, and it ran since I think 2010 maybe. So the cars are from the Northeastern Corridor DLC, and the Amtrak is from the Donner Pass, I believe. Or no, maybe not Donner Pass. Maybe it is from Donner Pass, actually. Anyways, we're in Shelby, Montana here. So we're just loading up. Small little town here. We got a... Well, the crossing is down, even though we're not even going in that general direction. So it's not a huge town, but not like super small either. Let's just Google it for the hell of it, really. Alright, welcome free viewers. Okay, I'm just gonna look up... Oh. Shelby, Montana. Oh, it's actually a city! It's the county seat of Toole County, Montana, located right off of I-15 and US 2. It's got a small population of about 3,000 people, so it's about the size of the town I live in. But for some reason, it's classified as a city. But you'll see that sometimes, like North Adams, Massachusetts, which isn't far from where I live. It's only, I also think, a couple thousand people, but it still retains city status. I feel bad for all these people here. They're stuck in traffic, even though the train isn't even going in their direction. And yet we're blocking their commute. So, yeah, the track just goes on and on and on. I'm not sure. Does it go past that point, or is this like the end of the map? Let's just take a look. I haven't done too much stuff on this map. Oh, yeah, this is the end of the map. Shelby Balloon. Oh, so this was like a loop. So this is like a loop track. You would go make a loop and turn the train around. Yeah, that's kind of cool. This is also just a siding, I guess. Not really sure of it. What's the point of the siding? But, it's whatever. So yeah, we got a small, like, grain here. And yeah, I believe that then would be the balloon track. Can't really see it too well, but... Meantime, let's... So the passengers have had plenty of time to board. I'm just going to look up Browning Station. It's in Browning, Montana. Okay, Browning, Montana is... It's a town. It's a census-designated place. The population there is under 1,000. Alright. Meantime, let's give the passengers one more chance to board, and we'll be on our way. Eating some goldfishies. I got the munchies. Alright, once the door closes, we'll be on our way. Once the doors close. Oh, I can uncouple them here, apparently. There's a toggle to uncouple of them. All right. Oh. It's like a ghost couple. That's weird. Alright, we're getting up to speed nicely. We only got like 6 cars. So we got a few coaches. We got a few coaches, then we got a diner car. Yeah, so it's, sorry, a cafe car. Or a snack car, as it's called. Alright, we can give it some more throttle. Fuck it, we'll gun it. I mean, this is a 65 zone, so we can haul ass through here. Alright, that's the sander. It's been a while since I've been in an F40. It's a handle, but it has like a button, like click. Alrighty. Alright, we're in the passenger cars. This is what the Amtrak cars look like in real life. So they did a pretty good job here. This is, yeah, pretty much all the cars. I wonder if you can get it inside of the snack car, but maybe not. Yeah, I guess the snack car doesn't have its own interior, but that's alright. Alright, we are going to be entering a 55 zone shortly, so let's maybe slow down a bit. Alright, so we got like an hour and 11 minutes to go, 55 miles. That being said, I drive pretty quick, so we can usually get to where we're going quicker than usual, quicker than it says. Yeah, it's hard. Whoa, we're getting tossed around a bit. Yeah, we are speeding through here. Yeah, I'm at 60% throttle, and we're doing 80 miles an hour. And I'm at 60% throttle. I'm not even going flat out, but fuck it. Let's see what this thing can do. And that being said, this locomotive was built in the 70s, so it's like 50 years old. So let's see what this fucker can do. Alright, 84. Let's see if it can hit 88. The track looks pretty straight ahead. It does have a turn, so we might want to slow down. Yeah, let's not go too crazy here with the turn. Okay, yeah, we got a couple turns coming up, so let's just kind of cruise at our current speed. We're already doing 30 over. Let's see how we make the turn. Okay, we got some tilt going on. Not like horrible though. Oh, this one is sharp. Oh yeah, you can hear it screaming. We got another one coming up. Alright, the tilt is now in the green zone, so we're actually doing alright. And we got a crossing coming up. It's not even lit up. Must be like some. It looks like someone's driveway, to be honest. Alright, does the track straighten out after this? A little bit, but not particularly, so. But I think this stretch we can really go flat out. We could probably cruise around 65, but that's the max we can do, like, safely. Maybe 70. We got another crossing coming up. Oh yeah, we're rolling coal here. So yeah, we got 2 more turns and then we should be able to gun it. Alright. Alright. I'm in Discord VC if anyone wants to talk. Yeah, last few streams we haven't had a lot of people. Okay, it turns into a 79 mile an hour zone shortly after this, so. We can go ahead and gun it, basically, and we can do, I was going to do it anyway, but. Let's give her the beans. We're going up a hill here anyway. Let's see what this thing can do. We got a crossing up ahead. Alright. Maybe it's not a crossing? Oh, I guess not. What is this thing now? Hold on, I gotta stop and look at this. Train detection system installed in track. All track work next 30 miles must be complete. Must comply with procedure. So, train detection system. That's kind of cool. I thought it was a crossing. We do have one coming up though, so W means crossing. I think it stands for whistle, so we'll lay on the horn. And yeah, none of these crossings have, you know, the warning lights or the guards or the gates. All right, 1079, I'm not sure what that means, but. All right, we're doing 90 miles an hour. I would think if this thing tops out around 100. That's what I would think. Alright, we got a siding here. Oh, that's a short siding too. I don't know where you're going to park in that. But we're turning into a 70 zone soon. But meantime, we're doing 97. So I'd say this is probably what this thing tops out at. It might actually say, I know the freight locomotives, they say right here what the top speed is. And the freight trains top out around 75. So maybe use this for a freight train then, because then it would be fucking quick. Brandon Carson, F40 geared for 103 miles an hour, some geared for 110. Good evening. Oh yeah, I read about that. Yeah, exactly. I know. Yeah, some of them were geared for higher speeds. Yeah, I remember that. Oh, okay. Yeah, let's slow down a little bit here. We're getting a little carried away. I know Amtrak ran. They had those GE60s, which were pretty bad. They had stability issues, so they had to gear them for I think 85, and then some of them were also geared for a higher speed. But yeah, there is a way. All right, so yeah, we're probably gonna. I now know what the top speed is, so I don't need to run around and try it. We're entering a 60 zone in a mile, so for now, let's just coast. We don't want to flip, and we're already speeding as it is. I think the P42s, I believe those do maybe 110. I think I've had those up to about 110, 105. I mean, America just doesn't have really a high-speed infrastructure. Like, even third world countries have a better rail system than we do. Like, even the Acela is just not that fast. Okay, so it turns into a 60 because we got some curbs, and then we're going back into a 70. We should be able to make it. We don't have a super long train. Good show so far. I've been hanging around for a few minutes now. Appreciate it. Yeah, it's kind of hit or miss, these streams, really. I'm not like PewDiePie. I'm not a huge guy. So, you know, you'll get people that come in, they hang out. I usually have like a couple regulars. Train Simulator is kind of new for, well, it's not really new anymore. But I was huge into Flight Simulator for a few years, still am. So that's kind of what built my, it's kind of what put my channel on the map was Flight Simulator. And a couple years ago I started doing Train Simulator too. And I do it not even because people watch, I just enjoy Train Simulator, honestly. I've played Train Simulator for probably about 12 years. Maybe more, like, yeah, about 12 now, yeah. And I've been playing Flight Simulator since like 2012. I was always kind of into simulators. Like I played, you know, American Truck Simulator. Yeah. Kind of just a chill drive through Montana. We got less than an hour to go, thanks to my speeding. Alright, let's actually give it a little bit more throttle. Logged 4,000 hours on the Trains franchise. Oh, I played Trains too. Trains Driver 2. I've had that, yeah. I had it on iOS. I played that a lot too back in the day. That was years ago. I really wish Train Simulator was multiplayer. You know, if we could have like a convoy of trains, that would be so fun. Oh, hey, Flight Man. Welcome to the stream.
Looks like a whole lot of nothing out here.
Yep, you're right. It's enough. This is Montana for you. It's cold, flat, and uninhabited. Well, we got a slight incline now, but I'm going full throttle. I can't even hit the speed limit, but we'll make up for it another way. I watched this show. I can't remember what it was, but I did watch a show a few years ago that took place. I saw like one episode of it. It was kind of like Yellowstone, but not exactly. It was kind of like a murder mystery that took place out here, but I think I saw one episode of it. Me and my dad watched it, then even forgot about it, but it was kind of cool, and it was a lot like this.
Really, I do wish Train Sim was multiplayer.
Yeah.
That's like the number one thing it's missing.
Yep.
I don't know why they haven't done it yet. Like even with the new ones, Train Sim World franchise,
Yeah.
sure they haven't even done it.
Like even Train's Driver is multiplayer. So for the era this is representing, I can envision a Burlington Northern SD40-2 on the point as a helper. Yeah, I believe we actually do have those. We get a lot of Burlington Northern equipment with this map. This is the Maria's Pass, maybe this is, or I'm not sure what it is, to be honest. Maybe it's either Sherman Hill or Maria's Pass. I can't remember, to be honest. But I know you do get a lot of SD40, you get a lot of Burlington Northern equipment on this route. I believe this is actually set in the 90s, this map. And yeah, the Amtrak, they retired these around 2000, but the cars, this phase cars started service around, I think, the same time this retired. So this would be a very rare combination train to have seen in the early 2000s. With this locomotive and these cars, you may have seen it, but it would have been extremely rare to see it. Montana.
There's actually one train sim though that I know that has multiplayer.
Right. Oh, we're doing 93. Whoa. Yeah, I better slow down here. Entering the 30. Whoa. Oh my God. Whoa. That was fucking... We switched tracks at fucking 90 miles an hour when we should have done it at 30. I'm going to have to rewatch that.
Trains has it, apparently, multiplayer.
Alright, and we got our station coming up soon. We got Cut Bank Station. Alright, so let's slow down here. We need really full power here because it's going to take time to stop this thing. We're going down a hill here. Whoa, oh yeah, whoa, we felt that shudder. And we got some wheel slip going. So yeah, we got the dynamic running.
Trains Railroad Simulator 2019 is $7.99 on Steam right now.
What's it called?
Trains. It's the only one that has multiplayer.
Alright, I'll look into that. Might be worth it.
Yeah, there's this free one that I have too called Open Rails. It looks really bad though, the graphics.
Right. Yeah, that was crazy. I wasn't even paying attention. We just jumped the tracks. We switched at 90 miles an hour when we should have switched at 30. And yeah, exactly. That's what the chat is saying. And then I slammed on the brakes, and we felt that shudder, like you could feel it in the cab. All right, meantime, cut bank is coming right up. I think I see the platform, actually. This is the first, like, crossing with lights and gates that I've seen so far on this drive. Because a lot of those just had a little sign, and that was it. Okay, looks like we're... Alright, we're probably going to overshoot. Maybe not, actually. Alright, you know what? We're good.
Yeah.
The train stopped on the platform, so... The train doesn't actually seem to stop that well. You actually have to use the locomotive and the dynamic at the same time. It's not automatic. Alright. So most of them, yeah, when you press it, it activates the dynamic, but exactly. So you got your dynamic brake. So that's just what the... So that's the independent brake, that's the train brake, and then there's the dynamic. So most trains it works kind of at the same, but I guess this one it doesn't. So you actually have to click these all separately. Alright, meantime, let's open the doors so the passengers can board. So yeah, this is Maria's Pass, and yeah, okay, yep, so okay, so we are going for Glacier National Park. Yeah, that was wild. I wasn't even paying attention. We just, like, you could literally see it on the stream, the jerk, when I activated the dynamic. Alright. I got Cheeto dust, or, got goldfish dust on my fingers. I got some goldfishies here. I got the munchies, so. Alright. I'm gonna let the passengers in. I'm gonna pour myself some Mountain Dew. Let's give them another chance to board. Short passenger trains more so relying on the locomotives to stop than the short and light train. Freight is better using the train brakes than relying on the locos. Really?
I feel like we almost do a disservice if like we need to talk about this every stream, the outdated rail infrastructure.
Oh yeah, yeah. I was just talking about it earlier. How we lack a high-speed rail system. How, like, third world countries have it better than we do. It's true, though. It's our taxpayer dollars hard at work. Because, I mean, it's kind of also America's very just car-dependent. It was built around the car, really. After, like, you know, the 1920s, like that whole... It was all just built towards the concept that everyone can afford a car, which... I understand in some parts of America you don't need a car, but, I mean, in most places you do. Like... In New York, for example, you can get away without a car. So short passenger trains, they rely on the locos to stop. Really, so short passenger trains, they usually use the locomotive brakes, not the train brakes. I never knew that. I always would assume that you would always use the train brakes as a whole, so it's even. But the loco does have dynamics, so I guess I could kind of see your point, but... And then longer passenger trains, they use the train brakes, as would the freight. Because freight trains are obviously way longer and way heavier. I gotta pour myself some Mountain Dew here. Alright, it is 6 p.m. So let's give them another chance to board, and we'll be on our way. Logistics behind it, hundreds of cars having brakes applied versus one or two locos. The longer the train, the better stopping with train brakes, but of course the weight counters that too. I read a story that took place in Canada. It was Nepequissit, or it was some weird Native American name, but it was a runaway train. And what happened is the train was going downhill and only using the two locomotives to brake. And his train brakes weren't hooked up to his consist, which was a common practice at the time, which was to not hook the whole train up, which was understandable because they were just moving it from across the mine. But here they had a complete runaway, and all they had was the two locos to stop it, and obviously now that practice has changed. But it was a runaway train. I think that was 1987. That was Canadian National. Nepic Exquisite, maybe it was something like that. But it was a runaway train because they were relying solely on the locomotives. And it was only 20 cars. It was just some coal hoppers. All right, meantime, let's get on our way. I don't get this like ghost coupler here that I'm seeing. This ghost coupler. Yikes, I need to look into it. Alright, we got a crossing coming up. So that was Cut Bank, Montana. We got a bridge coming up here, so I guess it doesn't want us to speed over it. And the limit is what, 35 for... Oh no, it's 50 for us, alright, so we're good.
What's crazy is Acela is the best we got for,
yep.
for high speed transportation. And that's not even that good.
Yep.
I mean, passenger comfort wise, the new Acela is good, and it goes a little faster, but it's not...
Yeah. Yeah. Like Germany has the ice train. France has the TGV. Britain has some too.
And Asia, to be honest.
Yep. Oh yeah, I have a video on that, yeah. It was so quick, it took maybe 20 minutes to drive the whole route. Well, maybe like 40, but still. It was that quick. Surprisingly common seeing an SD in the lead, helping a Amtrak train out. Seen photos on BN leading, Union Pacific leading. Even Rio Grande Tunnel Motors on the point in the Rockies. Yeah, I've seen that. I've seen a Union Pacific photo of a Union Pacific pulling a P42. Yeah.
You know, I talked about last time, we talked about the really short flights. Like Florida, you could go fly from Orlando to Fort Lauderdale. Just
Oh, my game might have crashed. Oh, nope, I guess not.
It's like a half hour just to go from Orlando to Fort Lauderdale, right?
By plane, right?
Yeah, by plane.
Right.
And it's like it's an hour by train.
Yeah. So
if we had the rail infrastructure, imagine what a high-speed train can do with that route.
Yeah.
You know.
All right, I'm gonna turn down Train Simulator.
You don't have to worry about going through TSA, checking a bag. You just hop right on the train, and that's it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. No, trains are. Yeah, it's definitely more convenient than flying because it's just you have more leg room. Alright, the game almost crashed there, but I turned the volume was a bit too loud. It was just screaming in my ear. I couldn't even hear Flight Man. That's how loud.
Short distances like that, though, it's a train's always going to be faster.
Yeah.
Um, I mean,
Even
there is something called Bright Line, but that isn't really. I mean,
that's
it's
just
still
like New
less
Jersey
fast.
Transit, right? It's just like New Jersey Transit, really.
It's the better version of New Jersey. New Jersey
Really?
Transit is um, obviously kind of owned by state
Yeah.
government, which, by the way, is still fucking expensive to get a ticket.
Oh.
Like just to go from Trenton to New York Penn Station, um, is like $40 round trip for one person.
I was gonna say Amtrak from Albany to New York. It's around maybe 40. Yeah, around 40 to 50 from Albany to New York, and that's 3 hours by
Yeah,
car. It's about the same driving to New York. It's about the same if driving or going by train. It's about the same distance wise. Trains maybe a little bit quicker, but it's a lot less stressful because you're not dealing with the traffic. So I usually take the train or take the bus into New York if I were to go. Big issue is Class 1's of passenger service. Typical corporation chokehold restraining Amtrak from having a speedy service. Yep. Yeah, that would sound right.
the problem with us and Amtrak, with New Jersey Transit, the reason why our prices are so high, is it honestly just boils down to the state government here in New
Yep.
Jersey. You know, I mean, they're they're pretty much in charge of it. You know, in charge of the
Railroads,
funding and this and that.
railroads as a whole aren't even profitable anymore. That's why they're owned by the government.
Yeah.
Because,
Amtrak's owned by the government. New Jersey Transit's owned by the government. Everything is owned by the government.
yeah, because all these like independent state railroads, they just went bankrupt. Really, like in Vermont, we had a railroad, the Rutland Railway, and it was a like privately owned railroad, and it just went bankrupt. They just straight up went broke, and the state was basically forced to take it over, and the state basically founded its own railway called Vermont Rail System, which is it's kind of an umbrella company and it has a few smaller companies under it. But there's not many privately owned railroads in America left, just because they're not profitable, really. Aside
Yeah.
from freight railroads are different.
Yeah, they're profitable. But the thing with New Jersey Transit, I think just the reason why it's been in business for so long is because it's a very popular. They serve some very, very popular routes, some very, very necessary
Yeah,
routes, right? People in New Jersey that are trying to commute into the city, New York City for work, or people near me that are trying to commute into Philly for work. New Jersey Transit goes to both of those locations,
yeah.
and honestly, it just makes for a very efficient thing. But Brightline in Florida is private. That's not.
That's privately
So
owned.
it might be slightly subsidized by the Florida government, but I
Okay.
don't think it's. Let me see. Right is right. It just started a few years ago,
Yes,
actually.
logistics are definitely a big influence. It's about utilization too. Yeah, you kind of got to be, yeah.
It's privately owned and operated, Brightline. It's owned by an investment group, which is interesting. And it seems that that's been pretty successful, but they've had a few incidents.
Right.
So, yeah, I don't.
All right, we got about 30 minutes to go. 26 miles. I gotta say, this was a pretty easy and straightforward drive. Literally straightforward, because it was literally straight
Yeah.
most of the way. It's just you're staring at fields, the occasional farm. Yeah, it's pretty boring out here.
But, like, to go to New York from here used to be dirt cheap to get a New Jersey Transit ticket. It's supposed to be cheap. It's public transportation
Yep.
literally, you know? Um, but it just hasn't worked out that way.
Yeah, I don't really know much about Montana, honestly. I know the capital is. Fuck, I honestly don't even know the capital of Montana. I'm gonna guess, so no, don't tell me. I know Cheyenne is the capital of Wyoming. Montana. Fuck.
That's a hard one.
It's like, I don't even know. What do I. Like, Montana. Like, what do you know about Montana? Like, there's some national parks, but. I know Montana doesn't require a. They have some good corporate laws. Montana and Wyoming both, actually. Montana, capital of Montana. Yeah, this is probably Eastern. I'm gonna try and guess. I might have to just Google it if I can't guess it, but I definitely want to try. We had to learn this in school. Like, I know Tallahassee's capital, Florida. Capital of Georgia is.
I just think Montana is so insignificant as a state. It's just.
Yeah. Like, it's like, you know, most people, like, they wouldn't know the capital of Vermont either. You know, most people, like, you ask people, they won't know. Because, exactly, it's such a state that. Other than they house a good chunk of ICBM missiles, they house those up there? Interesting.
Yeah.
Alright, I'm gonna look up
It's not
Montana.
really-
I'm just gonna look up Montana and it'll tell me the capital.
But of course, it's not really significant.
Helena! Of course, I forgot that. I remember that, but yeah, I forgot it. I know, so the capital of Mass is Boston, Rhode Island is Providence, Connecticut is Hartford, Massachusetts, okay, we already did Mass. New Hampshire would be Manchester, I believe. Capital of Vermont is Montpelier, capital of New York is Albany. Capital of Illinois is Chicago. Capital of Pennsylvania is, I believe, Philadelphia. Did I get that right or did I screw that up?
Harrisburg.
Yeah, right. Of course, it's Harris. Yeah, I forgot that. It is Harrisburg. You're right. New Jersey's Trenton. Everybody knows that.
Also, Illinois is Springfield, not Chicago.
Little further east than Montana, but still close. Oh, so you're probably in the Midwest. You're probably in, like, maybe North Dakota. Okay, North Dakota, capital of that is Bismarck. Capital of South Dakota is Sweet Falls, maybe. It's something weird like that. Capital of Wisconsin would be Milwaukee. Capital of Oregon would be.
Just gonna knock out two easy ones. Alaska. Anchorage.
No, it's Juneau. Juneau is the capital. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I knew it wasn't Anchorage. I just had to do the
Capital of California is Sacramento. That's an easy one. Texas is Austin.
Honolulu.
Yep.
Nevada
Those-
is Nevada.
It's not Vegas.
No,
It's fuck. I can't remember it. I definitely did know all this. I knew this all at one point.
Yeah. Carson City.
Yep, you're right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I had a feeling it was Carson City.
Colorado is. Pretty sure Colorado's Denver.
Yep. I believe you're right there. New Mexico is Albuquerque. Then there's. Okay, so Colorado, New Mexico. Then there was two other states that I can't remember. So it was like a 4-state point there. Colorado, New Mexico.
Arizona.
Yep, Arizona
Has
and
to be Phoenix, right?
maybe two. Yeah, Tucson. Either that or Tucson.
Oh, it probably is Tucson. Oh, it is Phoenix, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then. Okay, so it's Colorado, New Mexico, Arizona. What was the other state? I can't remember.
Utah.
Oh, well, Salt Lake. That's Salt Lake.
Salt Lake. Delaware is Dover.
Yep.
Maryland has to be Baltimore, right?
Yeah.
Virginia is Richmond.
Yep, that's easy. Yeah, that's
Going down the East Coast right now.
North Carolina is Raleigh. South Carolina is Charlotte, I believe.
Charlotte's in North Carolina, I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure it's Charleston.
Yeah,
South
fuck, that's what I was thinking of.
And then Georgia's Savannah.
Yep, and then Florida's Tallahassee.
Yeah. And then
Nashville, or Tennessee, believe it would be Nashville, but I could be wrong.
pretty sure it's
No, Memphis.
Memphis.
Yeah. No, Nashville, it's like, someone called it, it's like LA of the South, someone said.
Yeah. I've been there, but only on a connection.
Never been. I've personally never been. May as well be part of Canada, Minnesota. Oh, so you're really up near the that part. Okay. Minnesota. Yeah, you guys, your winters are definitely colder than ours. I'm not sure what part you're in, but I know parts of the Midwest actually get less snow than where I live. I get about 60 inches a year. And some parts of the Midwest get less than that.
We probably get 20 if we're lucky.
And this is interesting because, see, I live in an area where there's we get the lake effect. And I'm also kind of up in the mountains too. So I get the elevation and the lake effect causing me to get a lot of snow. But say like Chicago doesn't get that. Chicago gets, I think, a little bit less. But another thing also is it's not necessarily how much snow you get, but it's also how well are the roads maintained. So in my neighborhood, they're not maintained well. But in Albany, they do a pretty good job at cleaning them.
Oh, I was right. I estimated we got 20 inches if we're lucky. Google says 17 to 20 down here.
Yeah, you're in the mid-Atlantic, so it's a little bit. Your winters aren't as cold as ours.
Yeah, we still got cold winters, but
Does it get below freezing?
off the time.
Okay.
But right now it's only 37. So.
Oh yeah. No, we've had a warm couple days. It was like 60 a couple days ago.
That's
And before that, it was actually really, really cold. Like I'm talking like 20 degrees.
The thing is the further down south you get, it just gets warmer.
Yeah.
You know? By the time you get to South Jersey, you're almost kind of out of the Northeast.
Yeah.
A little bit, you know?
Minnesota, that is
North
where.
Jersey, you can see 40 inches a year. You know, South Jersey can see 20.
Yeah.
Even the climate's different. And I talked to you about the culture being different. So it's basically two different states.
Wow, -40. Nice. You must be near then the Great Lakes. Then you must be near the, what's it called? Lake Superior, maybe Lake Michigan. You must be near one of the lakes if you're getting. So you probably have the lake effect. Let me look it up.
Wow.
I used to be really good. I used to be really good with geography, but I guess I gotta get back up on my skill set.
I don't
guess-
think I've ever experienced anything colder than 0 degrees.
Yeah, me neither. Maybe like negative. Oh no, last winter we had -16. Believe it or not. So that was the coldest I've experienced. So you must be near. What was it Lake? Yeah, you must be near Lake Superior then if you're getting the lake effect. If it's that cold. Not that far north in the state, closer to South Dakota and Iowa than any other state, to be honest. Interesting. I guess some parts of the Midwest are more extreme than others. Because, you know, like Chicago, from what I hear, their winters are colder, but they don't get that much snow, from what I hear. I know it's where Shameless took place. Alright. So I usually do this every week, a train simulator stream or a flight sim. So feel free to tune back next week. Not sure what I'm doing next week yet, but usually do this. Brandon just
I just asked him a question.
Yeah, I don't know. I honestly don't know of many train simulator streamers.
Yeah, you're one of the only ones that I've actually seen.
Yeah,
I mean, there are people that play train sim like in videos. I've seen a lot of them, but actually, you're one of the like I'm sure they're out there, but you're the only one that's popped up in my For You page. There was a time where I was really into train sim,
yeah,
so I probably would have seen them, you know. But no, you're the only one I've seen.
yeah, yeah. It's kind of easy to stream. Um, in a way, it can be easier than Flight Simulator. It's less in debt, really. This isn't super like interactive, really. You just just make sure the train doesn't derail.
See, that's the thing is train sim's slow. You know, if you're
Oh yeah, that's true.
you've kind of got to be good at just talking about
Yeah,
random things if you're going to be a train sim.
exactly. I'm getting better at
Or
that, but I'm not always great at that. My talking skills aren't the best, but I'm definitely coming a long way. Because before I could just sit quiet and not talk at all, and it's boring. But
even flight sim streaming is kind of that way.
it can
You
get
have
boring.
to
Yeah,
just be able to talk about random shit because, like, it's not. You know, you're kind of just sitting in the air for a little while.
yeah,
If you're flying an airline or going autopilot for 3 hours or longer, whatever.
yeah. That's what Brett plays.
So
Brett
you're
plays
not
is
doing
Brett
anything.
plays is pretty good at that. He's pretty good at like chatting nonstop. Brett, do you still talk to Brett?
I haven't heard from him in a while.
Yeah, I know.
You're the only person I really am because Brett has just gotten big enough.
Yeah.
Where,
Oh yeah, no, his channel is just like, yeah, no, it's just, I mean, this is like a career for him, really. Like he's kind of retired, so this is like his main thing. It's like a hobby slash kind of job for him. I kind of would like that, but like I can't live off of YouTube. It's just I don't make nearly enough to live off of. I make maybe $100 a month off of this, and so that's like, I don't know, groceries for a week, but exactly, like it's not gonna pay my living expense. It would be awesome if it did, honestly, but I mean, let's face it, like streaming, it's not really a career. It's more of a hobby that, in some rare cases, can actually turn into a career. For me, it was kind of a career at one point. I was like definitely a lot more active a few years back, but that was during COVID, and even then, I wasn't monetized back then. I was just doing this for fun. But that being said, it definitely had a positive attribute on my mental health. It gave me a sense of community. Because COVID was definitely a tough time for me, and strangely, my mental health was better than it is now. And I mean, I'm slowly getting back to that, slowly getting there. It's that's what this year's really been about. I've had a lot of like self growth this year mentally, so that's kind of I mean, that's what counts, I guess. Maturity is also kind of a non-linear thing, so I've definitely matured a little bit. Okay, we got 4 miles to go. So
there are actually a few reasons why I don't tune into Brett Plays anymore. The first thing is a while ago. I don't know if you remember this. This was a while back.
right.
He stopped letting people join VCs.
Yep. I remember that stream, dude. That pissed me off. Yeah, that was 4 years ago, and I can see why he did that, because it's just exactly, it was like 10, 12 people in there, and we were just all talking over each other. So exactly, you can, with VCs, you can have maybe 5 people in there max. You can't have, that's the tricky part. And Brett, exactly, he did everything right, and he just kind of, and exactly, he took off, really. That's kind of,
which is fine. I mean, it's great and all, but that was part of the fun.
exactly, it was the banter,
And
yeah.
so,
We were like
so
the,
with you kept letting people join
Yeah.
VCs because obviously you didn't have 15, 20 people in the VCs.
yeah, no.
So you know.
Yeah, no,
I
VC,
just kind of flocked over to you when you streamed.
Yeah.
Into the VC.
VC,
And so that's kind of when I stopped.
yeah.
And
VC,
half of the time he doesn't even like fly the planes I really like.
oh yeah, no, yeah,
The
his,
routes.
yeah,
He just flies fighter jets.
yeah. Yeah, that's kind of his thing. He likes a lot of military stuff. That's kind of his thing. I remember the Route 66 flyout he did like many years back. I mean, that was one of our first flights we did together. A lot of people also just straight up disappear. Like, a lot of the OGs disappear. Like, there was Shano, who's still around, but, yeah, I heard from him once, and that was it. Chunk had some health issues, but he did pop in a few streams back, so he's still around. Icarus, I haven't heard from Icarus in a couple of months actually, which is strange, because me and Icarus, we would or Chuck, as he goes by, or he used to go by Chuck, I think. We used to stream a lot actually, but he kind of just disappeared. Then there was Joe Trills, who flew with us one or two times. He just straight up disappeared off the face of the earth. There was Captain ACQ, who also just disappeared off the face of the earth. Then there was that dude Max, who had the Lockheed Constellation, and I reviewed it. And I gave the link out to people, and he got so pissed at me. That started a lot of shit in Brett's Discord, all because I shared Max's link to the plane. So I got, if you remember that drama.
He did really good planes.
Oh yeah, Max, yeah.
He did a really good Twin Otter.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
But that's the third reason. I actually have four reasons. The third reason is all those people have kind of disappeared. And so,
Yeah.
You know, now Brett just, there's a bunch of new people in there that I've never seen before.
Yeah.
So that's kind of another reason. And then I guess the fourth reason is he doesn't even play Flight Sim anymore half the time.
Oh yeah, he does more games. Yeah. There's I think there was a couple guys who did pop in a couple years later, but they're still around. There was there was one guy named Wes, and then there was Big Al's playing. He's still around. Then there was just some Aussie gamer who he was also small, but I did some ATS with him. He also just kind of disappeared. But yeah, they were like some a lot of those guys were from Australia actually. Then I remember Oz Flight Simmer. I didn't like talk with Oz Flight Simmer, but I did a couple flights with Oz Flight Simmer. Me and Brett like joined in on his flight, and I'm talking that was like a huge fly. That was like 50 people in that fly out with Oz Flight Simmer. It was like 50 of us. That was like a wild.
Oz Flight Simmer, you know, actually for how big of a YouTuber he was, I'm surprised he even really participated in that. And actually got personal and talked with us, because he was pretty big then. You know, tens of thousands of subscribers, and now I'm pretty sure he's over 100.
Yeah, no, he actually even talked with me, like personally, like me and Brett, like personally, you know, not because exactly most of the time, it's just they read your comment, but that's kind of it. All right, we're coming to a stop here.
And then like Brett, like he was great.
Yeah.
But yeah, he just got big and, you know, started doing different things. He's still great. I mean, you know, it's just he's gotten big. You know, there's a lot of people that.
I remember when he was like 500 subscribers. Like I had more subscribers than him at one point. I've been around
the one reason why I found him was because of his conversions.
Yeah.
From FSX to.
He was really good at teaching people how to do that, because back in the day, FSX conversions were tricky, but he was really good at teaching people that.
Yeah. And then I eventually went into some developer discords.
Yeah, me too.
And I learned a lot from there, and figured out how to swap cockpits.
Yeah, I actually reviewed a few planes I was in those developer discords, and I actually reviewed a few planes for them. Like they would give me the plane, they would give me like a demo, and they would be like, all right, fly it, make a video, tell us what you think. But like I was able to actually do reviews of the aircraft like that. All right, in the meantime, let's let's stop here.
You know, eventually that actually, you know, I released a few planes on.
Yeah, I remember your I remember your 737. That was actually decent.
As of now, it has 150.1 thousand downloads.
Wow.
I just looked at it.
Nice.
It's crazy. It's the fourth most downloaded plane on the whole website.
Your 737?
Yeah.
Wow.
And there are a lot of planes on there, so that's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, it's the fourth most downloaded. It's the fourth most downloaded in airline aviation.
Wow.
That's what I meant. But yeah, there's still a lot of them. It's just crazy. But yeah, I kind of learned that through a lot of knowledge. The one thing that they did though, I remember, Sim Update 5.
Oh yeah.
They removed the gloss from the planes, and and the gloss actually made the planes look a lot better.
It also
Almost made
broke.
the plane
It
look
broke.
like it.
It broke all the
Yeah.
FSX planes too. It just Sim
Yeah.
Update 5, August 2021. I remember it's when everything just broke. They broke it all
Yeah.
because they didn't want people to do it. They wanted you to have to buy the natives.
And the amount of modifications that, like, a lot of people go on the website and they'll rate it and they'll say it's shit, if they don't realize the amount of mods I had to make to the plane after Sim Update 5
Yeah.
just to get it actually slightly working again.
Yeah.
You know, it's crazy.
I miss
And
a
I
lot
did
of
make improvements after that.
I had a
As
lot of
late as last
yeah.
year, I was making improvements.
Yeah, I had a lot of FSX planes that, again, they stopped working, and there was really no way to convert them because some of them were actually like FS 2002s. They were that old that they were ported from FS02 to FS 2004 and then to FSX and then to FS20. But they were ported so many times, and Sim Update 5 just broke them, and there's really no way to convert something that old. I don't know of anyone that actually has, because I had a lot of Soviet aircraft. I had the Tu-154, Tu-134, Il-86, Il-76.
See, that's the number one thing is, remember, you just couldn't convert
Yep.
FS 2004 planes to 2020. It would just show up as, nothing.
You needed
Shit.
to convert it
And
to, yeah, you had to convert it from FS 2004 to FSX, and then you could convert
Yeah.
to FS20.
I eventually found out how to do that.
Yeah.
And that was big for me because I was able to do a lot more planes that way, you know. Yeah, I mean, but now with FS 2004, that whole thing for converting planes from FSX is done now. Technically, I think FSX planes can still work in FS 2024, but they're just so bad now and so degraded. I don't even think
It's not worth
you
it.
could get any.
I don't think any. I'm not sure if anyone actually. I'm pretty sure there's maybe a few people in the whole world, I'm talking a handful of people in the whole world who actually even know how to do that anymore because it got so complicated. It used to be fairly simple. You had to download it, run it for the converter, check a few boxes, and then it was good. But after that, it became more and more complicated because they didn't want people to do it. Obviously, they wanted you to have to buy. They wanted you to have to buy the native off of the store.
Before Sim Update 2, you could use.
You could actually click the
Sim Update
cockpit
1 or 2 or 3. Yeah, you could click the cockpit.
in the
And
FS.
then they
Yeah.
took that away. They did all of this because they didn't want you using FSX conversions. The good news is, for a lot of the different planes, there are FS 2020 and FS 2024 native versions now.
Right.
That you can go and download or buy or whatever, right? So, honestly, the need to do that is, like, less and less now.
Yeah, because, there's a lot of good planes now that are, like, native, and they're not too expensive.
Yeah. But honestly, I think it is still possible to convert planes to 2024. I might try it just for the hell of it, honestly, just
Fuck
to
it.
see.
Yeah.
But yeah. With going back to Max and his conversions,
I haven't heard from him.
I remember he was all mad at you.
Yep.
So when I was asking for invites to his Discord or whatever, he wanted to make sure. I think he was a little skeptical because I was associated with you, right? But he did eventually let me in, and
Yeah.
he had some really, really good planes, I will admit. Of course they weren't clickable, but all the gauges worked in the cockpit.
Yeah.
I
don't know.
Everything just worked.
I can't even. I think it's because I gave the link to two people. I didn't openly give the link out. I just gave it to two people, and I think he found out about it. And he was super pissed. He even commented on my stream or on my channel. He's like, "You fucking idiot. You're sharing my shit. You're going to get me arrested, blah, blah, blah." For starters, yes, it is like copywriting. But they're not arresting people for this shit. They're not, like, some of the creators of these mods, of these FSX aircraft, they're not even alive anymore. Like, the guy who made the Tu-134, he passed away 10 years ago, rest in peace. But, I mean, who's going to sue you? Like, nobody's going to sue you. And, I mean, you got to factor in, like, people are going to steal your aircraft, okay? Like, people are going to crack it. Even if you charge people for it, there's going to be cracked versions on these sketchy sites. it's gonna happen. You know, like
Right.
it's no one is getting arrested for this. You're not gonna get. I mean, you might get sued. Worst case, but even then, like, what are they gonna sue you for?
The
It's like,
main thing, what they'll really do first, before they do any of that, they'll send a DMCA,
yeah,
right?
what's that?
Usually.
Cease and desist, or what is that?
Yeah, see, yeah, they want you to cease and desist.
Yeah,
They want you to fully remove it from the website, and if you do that, you're fine, right? That's
yes,
what they'll, if anything, that's usually what they'll do.
yeah,
And, you know, not to mention, like, even if the devs are still alive, and, you know, I can't even guarantee that they'll even care. You
exactly.
know,
Because like, come on, these people that grew up, they got wives, girlfriends, or families now. You know, I mean,
yeah,
I was like 16 once. Yeah, this was my life at one point, but like, I mean, I grew up, I got a job, kind of had a career. So the point is, my life changed. I mean, not for the better, but I had bigger fish to fry. So I'm not really like, again, I had a couple people copywriting my videos and uploading them as their own. Did I care back then? Do I care now? No, not really. It's not like I'm making any money off of this anyway, so I don't stand to lose much, really.
yeah. I mean, yeah, but I mean, I wonder what planes are not in FS20 or FS2024 that might still need to be converted.
I
I
think
think it is technically possible. I don't know. They
Soviet
could have completely removed the ability to do it. You know.
some Soviet
But one
planes. Actually, speaking
one
of
thing
which,
I did actually eventually figure out how to do though is actually I still have a project convert FSX to FS 2020 native. I eventually um, learned to do specifically the cockpits.
right?
Those they didn't have any animations. I mean, I did have one with an animation, with the landing gear animation on one of the 737s.
Yep.
I was actually going to go through and animate the entire cockpit and actually have it and release it, but I never actually did it.
Yeah.
That would have been a great project if I did, but I didn't actually do it. Um, and so yeah, you
I
know,
think some. I think Soviet aircraft, if they can be ported to FS-24, that would be immensely popular because when I did Soviet aircraft at FS-20 4 or 5 years ago, like people were like, I had thousands of views just from those planes because they were nobody else was talking about them and I was, so naturally, obviously, I'm gonna get all the credit because there's no one else to give it to. I was the only one. It set me apart, to put me on the map. Like I guess I had a lot of Soviet aircraft because my heritage, but also just history. They definitely made some good airplanes in the USSR. I mean, that being said, USSR had a very big military budget, but aside from that, they really they didn't do much else good.
yeah.
All right, but yeah, I'm gonna wrap this one up here. So it's been real.
And the yeah, but one more thing. The other thing is, um, when you, I think the only way might be to actually convert it to native now.
Yeah, maybe.
Don't, I just, the problem is they've made it harder and harder as we go along. You know?
Yeah.
Have you finished the route yet?
Oh yeah, no, I've been done.
Oh,
I've been just in the main menu looking at, just kind of messing around here, really. Okay, so we got some. Okay, so this is all the stuff I have. Okay, so
yeah,
Miami.
it's like,
I've
honestly,
had this for like 12 years, so exactly. I bought so much stuff over the years.
oh, and one more thing. Honestly, FSX, the FSX conversions, I remember there used to be like a big community behind it. You know, people used to, I
Yeah.
had a Discord server for it even. People used to, you know,
Yeah.
my Discord server built up to 2,000 people
Wow.
just wanting to do conversions eventually. You know, and now it's just inactive, just sitting there. But, well, they were mainly for my 737 getting support too. But
Yeah.
anyway, there used to be a big community behind it. I remember on the forums, you know, in the Brett Plays Discord server, everyone,
Yeah.
you know, they wanted to learn how to do this, right? But then eventually, the whole community, the whole like desire for anyone to do it just completely died off.
Yep.
The converter hasn't been updated for like 4 years probably
Yeah.
at this point. Well, you didn't really need a converter if you knew what you were doing, but
Yeah.
you know, it's like it just started to get to the point where no one even cared anymore, and
Yeah.
rightfully so. You know, you couldn't click anything in the cockpit
Yeah.
without having to actually convert it to native. You know, you couldn't. You know, there were some animations that weren't working. You couldn't have any gloss.
And it
A
crashed
lot
all.
of the
It would just
models were
crash your.
outdated.
It would
Some
just.
of them look shit in game anyway. You know.
It would just crash, and it would crash your game too. Some of them they would just crash it.
Yeah.
I remember, like, I would have to, like, I remember I knew if it crashed my game, I would always have to take out the most recent mod, and then see if it keeps crashing. Because I mean, yeah.
Speed bugs.
Oh yeah. Oh
remember
God.
those?
Who
That was
could
another problem.
who could forget that? The speed bugs. Yeah. You would have to turn it. You would have to mess with the flight model, set it back to native. Over fuck. What was it? Vintage.
Yeah.
And then it would fix it.
Now, it was like legacy or something. But the good thing, on my 737, you were eventually able to circumvent that because I included a experimental build that someone did. Someone built a custom flight model for it.
Right. Wow. Nice.
And so I put it in, and it actually used the native flight model, so it flew like a native 2020 plane, and that got rid of the speed bug issue.
Nice.
In the experimental version, but yeah, that was another issue. Those planes just had so many issues. The screens didn't work, the gauges didn't work, you know. And when you converted them to 2020 natively, usually most of them did work, but you had to use Blender to redo the animation, so it was basically like developing a new plane all over again, right? So I mean, I could see why the community fell off, you know, just because of that. It made sense, you know, that it would eventually die off. Now, of course, if Microsoft didn't really want to, I mean, they had the choice. They could have kept it going, but you know, they could have kept making it so you could click.
Yep.
They could have taken steps to make sure the gauges and the screens worked, but they
didn't care.
Yeah. They just wanted their 2020 developers to come in. It was just money.
Yeah.
And so, but it was great while it lasted.
100%.
We got a lot of good planes.
Yeah.
You know, that we could fly because of that, but yeah, eventually it just it became not worth it.
Yeah.
That's the story.
Oh yeah, trust me, I was there. Yeah, no, I'm glad I got to be part of that.
Oh yeah, it was definitely those were the times.
Yep.
Definitely to be in Flight Sim 2020.
Mm-hmm.
But eventually, I started enjoying more advanced simulation.
Yeah.
You know. With 737s and whatever.
Yeah.
So I started to drift away from that too. So.
All right. Well, I'm gonna wrap this one up here. It's been real.
All right.
Yep.
Catch you later.
Later. All right. Well, anyways, I guess that wraps up for the stream. Hope you guys enjoyed the stream. It's been a great stream. Thank you everyone for tuning in. But anyways, I guess that wraps up for the stream. Hope you guys enjoyed the stream, and please subscribe if you guys want more streams like these, and have a good day.